Hi, I'm Jerry Glover. I'm a soil scientist with the Land Institute in Salina, Kansas. And I'm working with a group of people to develop perennial versions of our major grain crops. Right now, around the world, we're facing problems of food insecurity, meaning that there are too many people going hungry. We're also facing the problems that agriculture causes to our landscapes. Our natural ecosystems prior to agriculture featured perennial plant communities. These are plants like trees and shrubs and perennial grasses that come back each year. They survive for multiple years, some for less than a decade, some for thousands of years. With agriculture, we reverse that almost completely. Our agricultural systems primarily feature annual crops that die after harvest. So that means farmers have to go in and plant the seed every year, prepare the soil, fertilize, and that comes at a great cost to the landscape oftentimes in terms of soil erosion, inadequate management of the water, loss of nutrients, and so forth. So right at the time when there are more people on the planet than ever, more people going hungry than ever before, and our ecosystems on the verge of collapse around the world, we need to produce more food because next month, July 2010, there will be 7 billion people and growing. So at the Land Institute, our focus is on developing perennial versions of the major grain crops so that our agricultural fields can function much more like our natural ecosystems did prior to the development and expansion of annual crops around the world. We rely currently on annual grain crops to primarily fuel our civilizations. More than 70% of our food calories come from annual grain crops: maize, rice, wheat. The three big ones, just those alone, supply more than 60% of our food calories around the world. So a big difference between annuals and perennials is the fact that perennial plants like this intermediate wheatgrass is a wild perennial relative of our annual crop wheat, but it doesn't die once its seeds mature. We can harvest the seeds off of it, then it regrows and maintains this extensive network of dense, deep roots year-round. It's a very elegant regulatory system that works on the scales of minutes and millimeters or less. So it's finely managing nutrients, water, and so forth. So this was excavated in June. At the same time, much of our crop fields in Kansas and the Great Plains are left bare because we're just planting our annual crop seeds right now for soybeans and milo and so forth. So on the annual crop fields, left virtually unprotected from rain washing away our soil, but yet under perennials that soil is protected year-round with deep roots ready to spring into action anytime there's adequate sunlight, available soil water, and available nutrients. So they are our lifelines to the soil elements deep underground.